Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Bernie with CG Spectrum. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are all doing well, that you had a good weekend. So today we're just gonna do something kind of random. I pulled up this image from, I don't know, this is like many years old. I never finished it. It was an image based off of the story of Adam and Eve and the Serpent. And yeah, it's something that I eventually wanted to finish. So why not try it out here? I guess this could be considered an illustration as well. But yeah, it's concept art involved as well because, you know, we're going to be trying different things. Putting my own twist to it. In terms of the idea and concept of the imagery. So yeah, let's try this out. I have two versions of this actually. I'll show you real quick. Yeah, so there's this version where it's kind of, I guess I'm going for a more limited palette. I'm not exactly sure how, exactly how I'm gonna take it or what it's gonna look like, but again, more of a limited palette. Here it's more of this natural look that I'm going for, like something you would find maybe in a jungle or something overgrown, right? Maybe this is like a sculpture of them, Adam and Eve and the serpent, that have been left as in memory of them in the Garden of Eden somewhere. Maybe that's kind of the idea I was going for. So it looks like, again, it's more overgrown. It looks more sculptural, like there's cracks and stuff like that. Yeah, that was kind of the idea I was going for here. But for today, I think I'm gonna go with this one. Right here instead. The idea is eventually I'm going to add some effects, probably around the eye or inside the iris of the eye, and the fruit. Maybe the fruit's like glowing or something like that, or it looks magical, or it looks like it's poisoned or something. Corrupt in some way, and probably glows on the serpent's eyes and maybe in between the scales. Hey, what's up, Logan? So that is the idea here. I might even make them look kind of albino-ish. Maybe I'll try that, where the humans are very pale looking, and so then you could have a better look on the corruption that's entering their body and changing them. Maybe that's a cool idea, right? And I actually tried many different variations for the fruit, and I ended up choosing something more simple like this, where it kind of looks like a peach. Oops, where it doesn't have too much like texture on it. Reason being because I kind of wanted it to blend into their smoother like skin texture, like be similar in texture, and separate it from the fig leaves, which will probably have more texture on it later. Like I want to add in the veins later, things like that. But not for now. And here you can see I kind of have basic lighting going on, like top-down spotlight. Again, my approach is more kind of seeing this as a sculptural image. Like you could see it in 3D almost, and trying to make it look more iconic. Like more of an iconic, memorable image. That's what I was going for. And with Adam and Eve's eyes, I want them to look kind of bewildered or lost. Almost empty in a sense, feeling empty, right? After they indulge in this pleasure. they feel a little empty and lost there. And of course the serpent above their heads, kind of wrapping them with his wings, claiming them in a sense, like, you're mine now. I've infected you guys. So that's kind of the basic idea. And of course there's a fig leaf here, which Adam and Eve used to cover themselves afterwards. So here it's kind of like the idea that they want to hide behind these fig leaves. Yeah, a lot of symbolic stuff going on here. But again, my twist is, you know, I want to draw a cool serpent if I'm going to draw one, right? And not do like a snake looking, just a simple snake. You see in a lot of like religious paintings or drawings, it's more of the same stuff, like it's very repetitive for the most part, visually. So it's just my take on it and trying to change it up a little bit, imagery wise. Anyways, cool. Having said that, let's get started on this. Oh yeah, and of course the purplish magenta on their lips is, you know, the juice from the fruit. Maybe I was thinking it'll look like she tried to wipe, or they tried to wipe it off their mouths, but unsuccessfully. They're permanently stained. Hey, what's up, Pat? Logan says kind of vampiric looking with the color scheme. Very cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I guess it is, because I'm going to make them super pale too. Yeah, it's kind of interesting if you look into the religion of Christianity. It almost seems like it's vampire related because in communion they drink of the blood of Christ, right? So they're drinking blood. Of course, most people will say it's symbolic, which, you know, it probably is, but it's still interesting nevertheless, right? They're drinking of Jesus' blood to live forever. Pat says they're haunted is... Sorry, I can't... They're haunted is such a mood. It's like getting your hand caught in a cookie jar, but 100 million times worse. Okay, cool. Yeah, that is the look that I was going for. So that's cool that you guys are getting that look, a haunted look. Yeah. Like, kind of like they screwed up, and now what's gonna happen next, you know? Hey, what's up, Nikki? Cool. So yeah, let's keep moving with this. I really don't know the exact look I'm going for, so we're just gonna experiment. A lot of the times with concept art, you're just experimenting. A lot of it is just trying different things. That's what really makes you a concept artist. You're not afraid to explore. You're gonna try many different things. Yeah. So I might just grab this whole image. My layers are all messed up, so I'm just gonna grab the whole thing here. Maybe not. Maybe I gotta turn off some of those layers. Especially what's on the lips. Go back. I might turn that off for now. How was your guys' weeks? Did you guys do anything cool? It's cloudy here in California right now, or in LA area. Oops. Sorry, I gotta do that over again. Alright, cool. And I'm gonna try to add some color to the black and white. Oh, that was too crazy. how should I do that? Nikki says, and as a Catholic person, yeah, I can 100% verify that Catholicism is super gothic. Pretty solid. Celebrated Mother's Day with family with a Peking duck. Cool. Oh, just Mother's Day dinner or lunch for me. We just had shabu shabu, which we really like. We had a hot pot too, like a spicy hot pot style, and a regular shabu shabu. Yeah, really good. Played with my chickens outside in the backyard. They like tripled in size now. They're huge. They're not cute anymore, or they're still cute to me, but you know, if someone else saw them, I don't think they would look that cute. Not as cute as it used to be for sure. Logan says Florida is getting hot. It went from spring to summer in like a week. Yeah, I heard. I have some students from Florida. California, like, or the LA weather is crazy right now. It was super hot at one point. It went over 90 degrees for about a week. And then all of a sudden now it's cold again. So yeah, the weather swings or the changes are pretty erratic. Let's see. That's kind of cool. So yeah, like whenever I mess around with colors, I'll just go into color balance sometimes and mess with it. Give me one moment, please. Sorry about that. Yeah, in a sense, I want it to feel kind of cold too, like this whole scene, right? Feel kind of cold. Yeah, let's go for something like that. This feels a little warmer, which is fine. Let's just try this. We could always change the colors later. Nikki is asking, do you have a favorite chicken? I don't think I have a favorite chicken, but I know my youngest kid does. He likes the smallest one. He calls them Fuzzball. But it's like the runt of the litter, right? It's like the weakest one, but that's his favorite one because it still looks kind of cute, I guess. That's why. But they're all nice. I mean, I try to take them out and handle them as much as I can, which is not very often, but still like at least once a week, 1 to 2 times a week. So they get used to being handled by people, right? So like, yeah, I notice the more I take them out, they feel more comfortable, right? They're not running away or anything. They all hang out with each other actually when I take them out. And they actually, I saw one of them kill some bees. Like they kill like 3 bees. Yeah. I was like, what? I think it's just instinctual because the chicken didn't even eat the bee that it killed, but it would just kill them. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going with this. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be me experimenting here. Throw down some color. Oh yeah, the chickens, they are expert bug killers. Yeah, I think in nature they just eat bugs and plants. That's all they eat, bugs and plants. Yeah, I read that one of the benefits of having chickens, if you have a garden, is they eat a lot of the pests that you have. Like if you have like ticks or anything like that, fleas or whatever, they'll eat all of them and get rid of them. So they'll control the amount of pests that are in your yard. And my neighbor has dogs, so. And to be honest, doesn't really take great care of them. So, yeah, that's a good thing that we got chickens to eat any bad bugs that are around. Yeah, it is an all-you-can-eat buffet for the chickens outside. I could tell they were just having so much fun being out. Logan's asking how many chickens I have. I have 10. That's my limit for my city, the city that I live in. Logan says my uncle has half a dozen at his house, and they mostly just chase around lizards. Oh, yeah, I heard about chickens eating lizards. So I guess they do, huh? Yeah, I have a lot of lizards, like small lizards in my backyard too, so I guess they might eat those. That kind of sucks, because we actually like the lizards too, but oh well. But yeah, we're gonna it's not like they're gonna be free ranging like all day. It's only whenever I'm out there, I'm gonna let them out and hang out in the backyard. only when I'm out there, because we do have hawks. And yeah, gotta be a little careful. Alright, the hair. I'm not sure what color to make the hair, actually. If they were gonna be albino, the hair would be all white, right? But I'm not sure if, let's just try it. Again, I guess we just gotta try it. Now it's looking kind of bluish. Yeah, I don't know about that. Keep going though. Hey, what's up, Audrey? Just in time for the buffet? I wanted to call one of the chickens chicken nugget, but my son didn't want me to call it that. For obvious reasons. I was just joking though. Alright. That's weird. Let's try something like this. It's like a purplish indigo color. Start with this as a base and see where it goes. I think the white was there's just too much contrast with the white, so I didn't really like it. But I still want the snake to pop out, but that was just way too much contrast. Do you guys ever pull up like old work? Like like a sketch you did or something you never finished from like years back and start working on it? I think it's fun to do that sometimes because, you know, your perspective or your the way you envision something could evolve and change, right? And then your take on it can change, and so it's kind of fun to have a different approach to an image that you worked on, you know, many years ago. Which this is. For some reason, this guy's face reminds me of a Oompa Loompa's face. Not sure why. Maybe it's the style, like the way I drew him. Hey, Saito. So you do, cool. And Nikki says, yes, though I tend to get to start over from square one when I revisit something old. Nikki says it's Adam and Eve, not Oompa and Loompa. Yeah, it kind of looks like Oompa and Loompa though. If that was the case, this would all be made out of chocolate, right? Not some kind of stone. And this, instead of the fruit, it would be the eternal gobstopper, right? In the middle. Or, not eternal, I say everlasting gobstopper. That's what it is, right? Alright, cool. And just darken the eyes up too. Might have been cool, like, to make his and her eyes look kind of blind too. Like they're blinded now. That'd be interesting. I just wanted the eyes to glow actually, but you know what? I might just have the serpent's eyes glow. And then have their eyes look kind of glazed over or almost like they're blind, right? That could be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna try that later. That's something I could do later on though. Alright, so we got that base down. I want to put a base down for the fig leaves and the fruit as well. And probably again keep the colors very subtle. Let's color pick this. Saturate it a bit. A little bit more green. Logan says, I rework ideas more than try to complete them. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, again, that's what kind of a concept artist does, right? You gotta be willing to rework things all the time. And that should be a fun part for you if you're a concept artist. Nikki says, Willy Wonka in the Garden of Chocolate. Hey, what's up, Margarito? Saito says, in my case, I do 3D. So I just added a bunch of things to an old house I did. Cool. Yeah, in 3D I would imagine it'd be easy to change things up, right? Or like to play around with things, you know what I mean? Not easy, but you know. Easier, I think, to do some variations and stuff like that. Rescale things, duplicate, drop them in different places of the image. Who likes figs here, by the way? Since I'm painting a fig tree here. I like figs, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like crazy about figs, but I generally like them quite a bit. I have probably, let's see, how many fig trees do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have close to 10 different fig, or not different. I have close to 10 trees though, 10 fig trees. Some of them are duplicates of each other, but yeah. So I like fig trees and figs actually. They're really easy to take care of, that's why I like them in general. And whenever you buy like store-bought figs, they're usually gross because they pick them when they're not ripe enough, right? Oh, that kind of looks cool. I kind of like the blue fig leaves actually. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm going back and forth. Let's see. But anyways, yeah, figs are really good. I have some like rarer kinds that are, like when you eat them, it tastes like you're biting into jelly or something. It's really, really good. And my sister's a super fan of figs, so she'll always come over during fig season and steal my figs. I'm gonna go for something more subtle like that, just because I don't want the colors to go all over the place. I will change it, or add color variation later when I'm doing like my light pass on top of this. But yeah, that's the base. And I gotta color the serpent's tail up. And then color pick. Nikki's asking, Bernie, are you laying down a base mother color with those blues, or are you starting to build on layers of colors? I'm not sure if I understand the difference. What's the difference between laying down a base mother color with these blues, or are you starting to build on layers of colors? I think I'm just building on layers of colors, yeah. So section by section, right? I'm deciding on what the base color is for the leaves, what the base color might be for the face, right? The hair, things like that. That's what I'm doing. You're making me think about what I'm doing. which is good, because sometimes I'm just doing stuff. Hey, what's up, Lenny? Saito says if I did everything again, it would be hard, but I like the house, but the image was just that, so I added a road and some things around it. Okay, cool. Yeah, again, I'll quickly show you like a variation of this that I did. This is like more of a sculpture type, like the base is made out of stone and then there's overgrowth on it like moss and stuff like that, and I was gonna maybe add vines on top of this. Like you found it in the jungle or something like that, right? But yeah, I don't know if I like that direction. So I'm just trying something different where it's a little bit cleaner, easy to read. Probably add effects to this one, this version. And just more of a limited palette. At the same time, I mean, the other one's kind of limited in the palette too. But yeah, just different, I guess. Alright, so let's just throw the color down here. I was trying to buy a houseplant for my mom for Mother's Day. But it's funny how picky my mom was. Yeah, she wanted something so specific. Like she said, it has to be 6 feet tall at least. It has to have like this amount of leaves. Like she wanted something with a lot of leaves on it. I was kind of surprised actually how picky she was. She was being about a house plant. Anyway, so I decided, oh man, I can't. I was showing her through FaceTime what kind of plants I was looking at the store. And then I'm like, oh mom, you're being too picky. I'm gonna have to actually take you to one of these nurseries and show you the plant, because she couldn't make up her mind. Alright, let's see. I'm looking at the wings right now and trying to decide what I want to do with that. And I'm also trying to decide, do I really want to keep, because for this version it's not necessarily yet at least a stone, right? Like this is not a sculpture at this point. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to make it look like it's some kind of sculpture still, or not? Make it into something else. Yeah, for this one, let's not do stone. I'll just... yeah. Still trying to decide what this should look like. Let me just do a multiply, experiment a little bit. Because I don't want the whole, the wings to like completely blend in with the body of the snake or the serpent. But let's check it out. Let's see, what if it's similar? What would that look like? Is it better? Or do I want some separation, right? See, that to me it creates too much separation between the rest of the image. So yeah, maybe having some of that, like having a gradient of that color down on the bottom of the wings, but having it cooler looking on top and a little bit lighter might work. All right. Saito says, I like the high amount of contrast of green of the previous version. Yeah, I mean, there's some things I like about it for sure. Yeah, but I didn't finish it. I left it at this point because I could see where, eventually what this could look like at this point, so I just stopped. It's one of those like studies you do before you go all out with it, full render. So again, like I didn't have to do Adam's face, I just did Eve's just to see what it could look like. I feel like the lighting's a bit too strong up here, but again, it's because I was just doing it real quick. But yeah, cool. Glad you like this one better. Yeah, still not sure. Yeah, so I'm giving this one a shot to see what it looks like. Give me a chance to pull it together and then compare, you know what I mean? Just two different directions. Nikki says it's really neat to see how all the mentors work from grayscale to color. I've seen a few mentors put like a brown wash over the grayscale first, and others just start building from the get-go. Yeah, there's so many different ways of approaching just painting in general, right? But for sure with grayscale, everyone works differently. I think this one, the reason why I started with black and white, or at least monochromatic, is because from the beginning my idea was to make it look more like stone, but then, I kept changing things up later. That's the part that kind of sucks when you do personal work, at least for me. When I'm working on personal work, because I don't feel like I have a deadline, my mind will, or my direction on my piece will wander, like it'll change like every day. So that's actually pretty bad. Like a lot of my stuff never gets finished because I'm just always changing it, right? There's no deadline, no one telling me to finish it, right? So I just keep experimenting, and yeah, I end up never finishing stuff most of the time. It gets to like this point and it just stays like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm still working on that aspect, trying to make myself finish things. Yeah, I am working on that for sure. If you guys know me, like, that is one of my things that I struggle with still. I mean, it's not that I can't do it, right? I'm a professional, so if I have to finish something, I finish it, but it's not something that comes easily to me. I'd rather come up with a ton of ideas, right, than like finish something. And I think that's a good problem to have when you're a concept artist, right? I mean, you'd rather hire a concept artist who likes exploring a ton of ideas than just finishing an illustration or something like that. Then that wouldn't make sense, right? You should be an illustrator then, if you love finishing images. And that's why I'm an art director now instead of someone who produces like a ton of final art. It just fits me better, I think. But yeah, to each their own. Everyone's different. And of course you change over time as well. What you're interested in changes, so. By the way, I told you guys, I think last week, that I may have some news. And yes, I do. I don't know why I feel a little embarrassed about this, but uh, I changed my job again. So for those who don't, some of you guys know already because you're in my class, but I quit my job again. I was at my last job just a month, and I quit on, actually today's my last day, but I quit on Friday. Yeah, it's never easy to quit a job, especially when you like the people you work with, and you respect them and you want them to do well. You want the company to do well, all that stuff. Yeah, to be honest, I think, yeah, this was probably one of the hardest times I quit, or the hardest on myself. I think it mainly had to do with, yeah, the people, because they were good to me, and also because kind of the situation I left him in, it's kind of a stressful situation for a lot of the team members. I'm sure they'll be fine, but you know, you don't want to let people down or bring more stress on into people's lives because of the decisions you make. But that's what I did. So it sucks. It's not easy. But the reason why I left was, there's many reasons why, but I would say the main reason is because what my previous job was up till, anyways, yeah, my previous job was art directing character illustrations. That was my main job. Which I thought it was going to be easy. Like, I thought, oh, this is not a problem, you know. My major was illustration. I'm all into, like, character designs and stuff like that. So I thought it was going to be easy. But with the amount of work, like the characters they wanted me to create and art direct, and the quality bar that they were pushing, I was just too slow at it, to be honest. It's not like my sweet spot in a sense, right? Illustration. My background's all concept art, so I realized, man, I'm too slow at this. It doesn't fit me. So I tried for, a month and a half or so, only to realize, yeah, I wasn't the best person for the job. And a friend of mine contacted me about another job. Yeah, so that's how I started talking to that other company and decided to leave. This new job is it is art directing concept art. It's actually with the Apex Legends mobile team. I don't know if you guys know the game Apex Legends, but yeah, they're porting over their game to mobile. So I'll be working on the mobile side. So yeah, that sounds like fun, and I get to work with a friend of mine who is great at what he does. So yeah, that's exciting. I know I'm not acting like I'm all excited. It's just because I feel, like I just explained, it's at this moment in time I feel I have a mixture of feelings, right? That's what it really is. Anyways, let's go back to some of the questions you guys had, okay? Nikki was, oh, you were asking if it was a Monstera plant. Me and my brother, we both really like Monstera plants. We both have them. But my mom, I don't think she'll like it because it looks a little messier, like unruly, right? It kind of grows all over the place. She wanted something that looked like a tree. So yeah, so that wouldn't work. Um, Margarito says, I was watching the perspective module and getting crazy, so I decided to see something different before starting it again. Oh yeah, some people hate perspective. Some people love it, some people hate it. Yeah, I mean, you definitely gotta learn perspective though. It's like math to some artists, right? It's like no. But yeah, once you look into it, at least like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, as long as you're doing something simple, like not too complicated, it's not that hard, right? You just need to follow the rules and it's fine. It's not exciting for most people, I think, but you'll get it. Uh, Nikki says, yeah, I find that I've been doing that in personal work too. There's so many different ways of approaching a final render, and it's easy to get an analysis paralysis. Yep. Yeah, it's weird. I think I heard some chefs are like that, right? Some cooks. When they, of course, when they're working, they'll do something, that's fancy and delicious, right? Because that's their job. But when they get home, they just make a ramen or something stupid simple, right? They eat like junk food and crap right at home when it comes to their own dish, right? I mean, maybe that's not a direct good comparison to what we're talking about, but I guess the point of it is that when it comes to like personal work, the artist's mindset could completely change, right? In comparison to their artwork at work, you know what I mean? Um, so that's kind of interesting, actually. Think about. Hey, thanks, Nikki, for the congrats. Yeah, I'm excited. It's a new step. It's actually a new team, like a new mobile department. So in that sense, it's exciting. We're building a new team. And I like their artwork a lot. They have a lot of character development. They have like, all like a detailed background for their characters. The design for each character is very well developed. If you guys check it out, it's cool. I'd prefer to really sit down and refine a character design as opposed to like just cranking out character designs. That's something I was used to doing, meaning refining, that is, character designs at Blizzard. So that's something that I'm more interested in, actually. Yeah, I'm excited to get back to doing. The sad part is, I used to be really into first-person shooter games when I was younger, like in college or a little bit past college. Yeah, I would play that almost every day, like different first-person shooter games. But when I tried playing Apex Legends, this is a sign of my age, right? I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. I was getting a little dizzy playing that game. It's embarrassing. Like, I'm getting dizzy playing this game. I'm too old for this. Yeah, it's kind of showing my age here. I'm sure I'll get used to it if I keep playing it, but yeah, I haven't played a first-person shooter in years, so I think my brain's not used to it. And I was kind of surprised by how complicated some of these first-person shooter games have become. The last one that no, actually, it's not the last one. The ones that I played a lot of were like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Battlefield. And the one that I played really a lot extensively was Unreal Tournament back in the day. Again, that's aging me, probably. But Unreal Tournament was my game. I used to play that all the time. And I was good at it. Here I go bragging again. Back in the day. You guys are like, what are you talking about? But yeah, I used to play a lot, and hopefully I can adjust to this one. Anyways, I was kind of rambling and I got distracted working on this thing, and I don't like the direction it's going with that wing. It's a little, I broke it up a little too much here, so it's not reading very strong from a distance. Yeah, a lot of times people, including myself, get distracted by adding in details, right? But you want to make sure the overall read of whatever you're painting is reading well first, right? The details are secondary. They're just supporting details. You don't want to get caught up in showing details. I mean, the details are great if it's supporting your overall image. But if the details become the most important thing, then you failed in a sense, right? Hey, thanks, Saito. Oh, Saito says, I did not play a lot of first-person shooters. I was more into RPGs. I was actually into both of those. So those were I would say those were the main, like first-person shooter games and RPGs were my main type of games that I played. Besides like World of Warcraft, Starcraft, stuff like that. Yeah, I was really into RPGs too. I think I just played a lot of games back in the day. That's why I got into gaming. But yeah, have you played, Saito, have you played, let's see if you're like a real RPG guy. Have you played Ultima 7? Or like Serpent Isle, Blackgate, Pagan, Torment, stuff like that? Have you played games like that? I always talk about this and like people don't know what I'm talking about, but if you do, that'd be pretty crazy. The Ultima series were awesome RPG games. It was very story driven and open box. It's not linear like a lot of the RPG games were or are, which I don't really prefer. Anyways, yeah, the first game that I worked on was a RPG game called Summoner 2. It was Summoner 2. This was out in like 2002. But yeah, I mean, I had a great time working on that game. Didn't do too well, but it was a fun game to work on. Saito says, I played a similar game like Ultima 7 called Tibia, or I think that's how you pronounce it. I think I heard about that game, and it kind of looked like Ultima, right? I think someone showed that to me before, where it has a similar style, like a visuals like Ultima. I think it was made in a different country. I mean, not in the US is what I mean. But yeah, Nikki is asking, wasn't Ultima the first open world RPG? I think so. It's the first one that I knew of. Where like you could go around and do whatever you wanted. Like you could steal anything, you could kill anybody in the game. You could, like, basically it was so easy to break the game, like the whole thing, because if you accidentally killed somebody, you would never be able to finish the game. Or you could lose like an important key, right, on accident, and then you would have to go back and find a saved game, like load up a saved game, or else you would never be able to finish the game. One of those types of games. But yeah, it was an awesome game. Because again, you could do whatever you wanted. You could kill anybody, steal anything, go wherever you wanted in the whole world. Even if you weren't like ready for it. You might die, but you know, you could still have the freedom to go wherever you wanted, which was cool. Back in the day, I mean, that was unheard of. Anyway, sorry if I'm going kind of slow with this image. I'm just playing around and more kind of relaxing here, just chilling and exploring, trying different things with this, because it's my image. But yeah, so this is something we could talk about. Like, I know some of my students, they'll get hung up on like certain images, right? Or certain characters that they're working on, or again, any kind of image that they're working on. You really get hung up on it. And I understand it, you know what I mean? I understand why you're getting hung up on it. It's because it's your image, right? And I know a lot of you guys have these characters in mind that you've been working on or thinking about since you were in like junior high school or something, right? You're like, I've been thinking about this character, like I had this idea about this specific character since like high school, you know what I mean? And it has to be perfect, you know, it has to be like this and that. And again, I understand why you guys are thinking like that, because again, I've been through that too. But at the same time, you have to realize personal work like this is completely different from portfolio work, right? In your portfolio, nobody cares about what you're thinking, right? Because you're not there to explain anything. No one cares about what you had to go through or what this means or what that means. Nobody cares. It's all about just the visuals, like that you're showing in that on your portfolio. So yeah, like it's different. You need to have a completely different mindset when you're creating artwork for a portfolio to get a job, opposed to just complete personal work, right? Like this is just, for me, personal work. Yeah, does that make sense to you guys? So with portfolio work, you should never get hung up on stuff. Nothing, you can't say, you shouldn't say, I should say, is that you shouldn't say, oh, Bernie, you know, for example, I'll say, hey, why don't you get rid of some of these horns? There's too many horns, right? It's not reading well, it's too busy. make it into one big horn. So this is just a dumb example, right? Make it into one big horn, make a stronger iconic shape, so that when the viewer looks at it, it's more memorable, or the horns read better, for example, right? I'll suggest that, for example, to a student, right? And the student will say something like, sure, but I can't do that because in my story, this serpent has 6 horns, and each horn has a meaning behind it. You know what I mean? This horn is the horn of ice, and this horn is the horn of, you know, stone. You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm getting at, guys? And this horn is going to be used by an elf to like cure his grandma. It's terminal illness, right? And this horn is going to be used to get stuck on a unicorn's head, right? Or a horse's head to make it into a unicorn in the future, right? And it's like, hey, all that stuff is cool. I'm glad like you're being inspired by stories and ideas in your head, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. But nobody cares. If I'm being honest, nobody cares about your ideas, like those kind of ideas, right? When they're looking at your portfolio, I'm talking about. They don't care, and they can't tell. They can't care about it because you're not there to explain it. All they care about is, are you making cool visuals? That's all they care about. Are you a good designer? Do you understand design? Do you understand like visual communication? That's the point of your portfolio. You're showing off to the potential employer what you can do, how they can use you on a game project, right? Or a movie project, right? You're giving them ideas on how they can use you, what your strengths are, right? Hopefully that all makes sense. Yeah, Nikki's saying it's really neat how far games have come. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's really crazy, and to think about where it's going, where it's headed to, it's even crazier. We're probably gonna have some kind of a holodeck eventually, a holodeck from Star Trek. If you guys watch Star Trek, which I used to a lot. Trekkie. But yeah, we're not going to be able to tell what's real and what's not real. And I don't know if that's a good thing, to be honest. Saito says, in my case was with environments, and I loved Akira, so doing huge detailed cities takes a lot of time. And it was not worth it because nobody cares about detail in a huge dark city, but I loved it. Yeah, that's interesting. You do have to place yourself into the mind of the viewer, right? When it comes to portfolio stuff. You can't think about what you want to see and what you like, but you have to think about what the viewer is going to want to see, right? Really think about what the viewer is going to be thinking about when they look at your portfolio, what they're looking for, right? Anyways, man, I'm rambling so much, I'm losing focus. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing, I don't like that. What am I doing here? I think I want to put this on the opposite side, actually. It's kind of breaking up this inner area and making it too busy. So I want to place that on the outer part of the silhouette. I think that will look more interesting and not make this area so busy, because it's already busy. Yeah, and really when you do stuff like this, at least for me, I gotta focus, man. I can't have any distractions, because then I'll end up doing what I'm doing now, is like redoing stuff over and over again because I'm not focused. Or maybe I just have ADD or something, and I have an issue focusing, I don't know. But I'm definitely, if I get distracted, or there's distractions, or I'm divided, my attention's divided, I cannot focus. can't get stuff done, to be honest. It's a miracle I finished that Kaiju image. Miracles happen every day. Alright. Let me just throw some glows down here just for fun. Sometimes, like, while I'm working on something, and this might be a bad habit actually, but what I'll do is, I mean, it works for me because I want to feel inspired. Like, at a certain point, I don't know if you guys feel this way too. At a certain point, you've been working on an image, you're like, oh man, I don't feel like it's moving forward, you know? And then you feel like I need some motivation, right? So then what I do when I feel like that is I will just start throwing stuff down. Again, just to get a better idea of what it's going to look like eventually, plus just to inspire myself, right? Oh, it's going to look like that. That's cool. I want to keep going with it, right? To get that kind of a feeling. And that, it helps when I throw down effects or whatever, details sometimes, to inspire myself to keep going. So again, this is not like I'm trying to do a final effects pass or anything like that, but it's just a mock-up to inspire myself. I don't know if you guys do that too. The funny thing is sometimes it'll turn out well and then I'll just keep it. But usually not. I have to put a glow around this tongue so you could actually see it. But yeah, once you start adding like your highlights and details and effects and all that, you know, it starts really coming to life and you could really see what it's going to eventually look like. So for me, that really like puts like a fire under me in a sense where it motivates me, you know, to keep pressing on. Nikki says, it makes sense. I find it so hard not to make every finished personal art into something for the portfolio. How do you not fall into that trap of making everything you make into a portfolio piece? Well, you could still put your personal art into your portfolio. You just gotta put it in a different section of it, right? Put it in a different folder on the portfolio. That's what I do. I'm going into experimentation mode again. I want to try stuff all the time. Because there's no deadline. That's a cool thing and a problem for me. Kind of want to experiment, make it look like it's almost like neon lights hitting the face of these characters here. The effects are like neon lights, that is. Hey, by the way, if you guys could give me a like for this video, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe this is getting too crazy, but it's just fun to try it. Yeah, maybe not. Oops. More experimenting. Bear with me.
Too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you.
Oops.
One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new,
That's super bright.
kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to.
Let's try making their eyes glow a little. Fun. Oh yeah, Nikki. That's what I'm gonna try out. I'm gonna make it look like it's kind of glowing from the inside. Oh, funny, I called it iris before. It's pupil, right? Yeah, I think I called in. Is the iris the very center of it? Confused. Again, all this stuff with the effects is just me mocking stuff up for practice, or just to see what it'll look like. Not clean or nice looking. Do a hard light. Yeah, I mean, generally I don't really like the way that looks, to be honest. Not what I imagined. Maybe it's just too strong, right? Some of that. But anyways, yeah, I don't think I have to further experiment with that. I get a general idea of what that direction could look like, which is good enough for me. Let's try adding that. Guy has purple lips. That's starting to look a little bit better because I think the base of it is darker. But yeah, I mean, all this, I don't know about that fruit. It looks so bright. I just wanted to make it look like the whole thing was glowing. But yeah, I don't know if that is the direction I'm going to take it. Because in this case, it becomes the focal area because it's so contrasty. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna jump around right now because I'm getting bored. I'm gonna try developing the face a bit more. I'm getting sleepy. I gotta make myself excited to get through this. I'm partially joking. Partially. So bad. Alright, so I'm just, let's brighten this up a little bit. Use a textured brush, or slightly textured brush, so it doesn't look super clean. Okay. Actually gotta decide on the lighting direction, if I want it to be completely straight up and down or slightly from the right or left. I'll do slightly from the right. Let's try that. Just so that, because this image is already very symmetrical, it'll break it up a little bit at least. So not by much, but slightly from the right side of the image. Actually don't like this textured brush. I'm gonna go back to my round brush. Hey, have you guys ever seen someone on a stream fall asleep before? While they're streaming? Man, they're starting to look scary. I think they're looking a little too scary. They're not, I don't think they should look scary. Man. Look creepy. Logan says, I feel that currently working on a bigger sketch and running into getting bored with the part I get stuck on. Any tips to helping get unbored and stay excited on projects? Yeah, like I said, what I was saying earlier is a tip where, you know, if I'm getting bored, I'll try stuff like this. What I did here, a quick mock-up. This isn't, all this stuff is just quickly done, thrown in there to see what it could look like. So I'm experimenting. And sometimes, you know, when I do that and it looks cool, then I get excited. Yeah, and it'll inspire me to continue on with the image. In this case, I got a little bit more confused. Like certain things, like I know I'm gonna make these, the serpent's eyes glow and stuff like that, but other parts of it, I got a bit more confused about it because I'm just not sure which direction to take it. And I gotta eventually balance out all the effects, right? They can't all have the same intensity. I have to decide on what I want to be the focal area, right? And things like that. So that's something I'm thinking about as I'm looking at this right now and trying different things. Let's see, what else? Yeah, and sometimes if you get stuck on something, just move on to a different image, right? That's why I tell most of my students, don't work on just one image at a time. Work on many different images at a time. That's at least what I used to do. So if I get stuck on something or something's looking horrible, then I don't get hung up on it. I just move on to the next one and work on that some more. And when I get stuck on that, I'll go on to the next one, right? So I mean, I was always working on multiple images at a time in college and out of college. That helps, like, if you're the type that gets hung up on images, right? Or like you're a perfectionist, then it's a big problem if you're a perfectionist, in my opinion. So you have to counter that. You have to counter that by having many different images you're working on so you don't get tunnel vision on one of them, right? Or you don't get upset and frustrated with yourself if you fail at one of the images, because I promise you will fail on some of them, like we all do. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I was gonna try something else. Let's try some more stuff. I'll add some corruption to it, to the skin. Experiment with that. They look like zombie vampires.
wasn't me in your mind when you were someone new. Trying to map out in my head how we got here from where we started.
See what it looks like with some corruption around the side, coming in from the sides of the head. Some creep. Veins. Whatever this is.
No saving us now. This point I'm just burnt out from pleasing you, from pleasing you, from pleasing you. I know there's no saving us. This point I'm just burnt out from pleasing you, from pleasing you, from pleasing you. I know there's no saving us. This point I'm just. I hate that I hate you.
Let me see, are there any other ideas with your, what you're talking about, Logan? Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where you go back into experimentation mode, concept mode, right? Where you break away from your original idea and thought process, like where you thought you were going to take it, and you just play around with it some more again. Like you're almost brainstorming on top of what you currently have. A little bit like what I'm doing here. I had an image that I used to, I stopped working on at a certain point, and now I'm just kind of playing around with it, trying different things with it. I'm not going too far, right, and changing it up completely, but definitely playing with it. Yeah, I feel like experimenting more. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I might try to see what it looks like if I light whatever's behind their head. Bring some lighting behind their head. See if that will make things read better. That's, again, there's so many ways of going about this. So I'm wondering, what if there was some light bouncing around inside of these wing thingies, right? This serpent's wings. And then it'll make the silhouette read better. But maybe that's not the look I want. Maybe that'll make things too clear, right? And then it won't be mysterious looking anymore. But again, if you don't try, you won't know. So let's try it. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just a mock-up. bring some of this reflected light into the scales, see what that looks like. A little bit darker. Over here as well. That might be too much. Brought that reflected light in a little too much. Erase it out a bit. Yeah, I don't know, it's starting to get distracting, right? It's too much stuff going on. Maybe I'll make it like super subtle. And again, I made the background white. Oh, it'll be cool if there's like, again, maybe there's just too much. They'll make it too busy, but it'd be cool if there's like skulls all up in here, subtly. And the idea behind that, since this is personal work, I can do this, is that by eating the fruit, they're gonna die. It's guaranteeing death to all mankind by their act of disobedience. So if I added, oh, this skull looks horrible, but anyways, if I added a bunch of skulls in here, small skulls, baby skulls, oh sorry, I shouldn't say that. Bunch of skulls in here. Maybe they'll look like, maybe I should make them look spirit-like, right? Like spirit skulls like flowing around in there. Maybe that'll make more sense. They won't compete as much. Could be real skulls too, I think, if I make it subtle enough. Like skull piles back there. Like it's like they're eggs almost. Like these are like the future of mankind that they've created. A bunch of skull piles. Sorry, it's kind of sadistic, right? But whatever. They're the future children of skulls. They sealed mankind's fate. I don't know, that kind of looks interesting to me. And I like the idea, kind of. Even though it's weird. But again, like with this kind of personal work, anything, almost anything can go, right? The normal rules can be twisted. Do whatever you want, it's yours. And that's what I'm doing. But yeah, if you wanted the imagery to read, I mean, right now all of it's not reading well, like the effects are competing. I have to mess with all that eventually. And I do want it to look like they bit into it. Oops, hold on. Hey Tatum. Cool, I hope, alright. I can't even speak. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, like, personal work is always fun to work on the side, if I can make time. I miss it. I mean, I know a lot of professional artists that miss doing, you know, their personal work. It's just, this is kind of why we got into, most artists got into this anyways, right? This art thing is so they can do fun personal work, right? For the most part, I think. I don't know, maybe I should just speak for myself, but I think a lot of it comes from that. This looks like a butt. Peach butt. Maybe that's why it was so appealing to them. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. Looks like a butt though. Anyways, please remember this is just a mock-up. I'm just goofing around here. I'm getting a little defensive because it's like personal work. Oh, maybe I'm gonna try making it look like she's crying for fun. It's like mascara almost, but it's not. I wonder what I can do with the guy's face that can make it look different. I don't want to do the same thing. I guess I could just play up the idea that his mind is corrupt, or has become corrupt. Yeah, so maybe there's like a crack in his head or something. Oh, by the way, in the future, we are working on plans to working on the content for the concept streams that are going to be more organized. Because, yeah, anyways. But yeah, we have plans in place right now. We're talking about it, and I'm trying to decide and narrow down what we're going to be doing with the streams. So please be patient with that. It'll probably happen in a couple weeks. But yeah, there's some fun ideas that we have. It's stuff you guys could follow along with as well. So, yep, I look forward to doing that again. Yeah, thanks for joining me on the stream today. I hope you guys have a great week this week. Keep working on whatever you're working on, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Okay? All right, see you guys. Bye.